Welcome back to the 6th Gear Garage. Today I'm going to show how to replace the brake pads and rotors on a 2007 to 2014 GMC Sierra, which is the same for the 07 to 14 Chevy Silverado 1500. This applies to 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive trucks, but not the 8-lug. HD trucks use different parts and torque specs than the 6-lug truck that I have here. I will list all the tools needed in the description. First, I need to loosen these plastic lug nut covers that hold on the center cap. These are 22mm. With the center cap off, I can crack the lug nuts loose while the truck is still on the ground. This helps when you don't have an impact wrench to loosen the lug nuts when the wheel is up in the air. I have air tools, but I'm going to show it this way since not everyone has a compressor and air tools in their garage. And these are also 22mm. Now I can lift the truck and support it with jack stands. With the lug nuts already cracked loose, I can remove them without the wheel spinning. Here is the passenger side. The rotor is slightly grooved, but not too bad. The outside pad and the inside pad are worn evenly, which means the caliper is still good. The driver's side rotor has deeper grooves, which is alright because I'm replacing both rotors. There's the outside pad, and here's the inside pad, both worn evenly. That means that the caliper is clamping evenly, so it won't need replaced. When a caliper begins to seize up, the clamping force isn't even and one pad will wear faster. Often the inner pad, and you don't even know it until it's too late and grinding on the backing plate. The first thing to do is to remove this T30 Torx bolt that holds on the rotor. Sometimes these are rusted in place and the whole hub turns when trying to loosen it. An easy way to keep the hub from spinning is to stick a screwdriver between the caliper and bracket into the vane of the vented rotor. Next, there are 2 guide pin bolts to remove where the caliper bolts to the bracket. These are both 19mm. Use a pry bar or flathead to pry the caliper off of the bracket. Here's the shim from the inside pad. Have something ready to support the caliper so it's not hanging, putting stress on the rubber brake line. Things tend to rust apart here in Ohio. Next, I have to remove 2 more bolts, and these hold the caliper bracket to the knuckle. These are 18mm and they're a bit tighter than the last 2. A breaker bar definitely helps here. These bolts had a thread lock compound on the threads, so I'll reapply some more when I put them back in. Now the bracket can be removed along with the brake pads. This rotor is ready to come off, but if it seized to the hub like the driver's side was, I just gave it some taps with a rubber mallet, alternating from side to side. On goes the new rotor. Be sure this beveled hole lines up with the hole on the hub. And that's for the rotor screw. Over here, I need to install the new pads on the bracket. Just pull the old ones off and pry these old nasty metal clips off with a flathead screwdriver. I like to brush this area with a wire brush to get any rust or grime off of the bracket before putting the new metal clips on. Just make sure the new clips are centered on the bracket and they press right on. Sometimes they can be a little difficult. There we go. Now I'm just going to put a tiny dab of brake grease right here on the clips where the new pads will clip in. Important note, the inside pad is flat across the bottom. I'm putting one of the tabs in first, being careful not to let it slide all the way through and go off the inside of the clip. Then do the same on the other side of the pad. And repeat for the outside pad. Back to the caliper. I'm going to clean up this rusty mess left from the inside shim. Now for the fun part. This is a twin pot caliper, so there's 2 pistons. Some only have 1. I'm going to use a C-clamp here. With a twin pot caliper, you have to compress them both together, or just one will go in and the other will go out. They sell caliper compressing tools for this, but why buy another tool when I can just use the old brake pad and a C-clamp for free? Here's the reason I had to do that. Take a look at the thickness of the old pad compared to the thickness of the new pads. As pads get thinner, the pistons extend farther. Now the caliper will fit over the new, thicker pads. Here is one of the 19mm bracket bolts, and I'm just putting on some fresh thread lock. And same with the lower bolt. These get torqued to 129 foot-pounds. I'm also going to put some of the grease on the face of the pistons. This can help prevent brake noise, but most importantly, corrosion. Hopefully, next time the brake pad shim isn't rusted to the face of the pistons. Just spread it around so it's even. I'm also putting some on the other side of the caliper, just a little dab where it contacts the brake pad. Now to install the 18mm caliper guide pin bolts. No thread lock on these guys. And they get torqued to 74 foot-pounds. Next, I put the wheel on and hand tighten the lugs, put the truck back on the ground, and torque the lug nuts down to 140 foot-pounds. Reinstall the center cap, and done. Thanks for watching today's video. Do me a favor and give it a thumbs up if you found it helpful. Consider subscribing for more how-to videos and project vehicle updates here at the 6th Gear Garage.